Well, I was going to play Rocketville, but I looked at it and I haven't punched the counters yet, so I'm going to have to hold on that. Instead, we're going to play Venus Needs Men. This is something I picked up kind of early in my new buys section, and I doubt I would buy something like this again, but it wasn't very expensive other than shipping, and, you know, the cover was just too cool for words. It looks like a kind of an interesting game. So this is one of them card-driven war games, right? Alright. Let me try to go over the rules. I've only just skimmed them. I read them once before. But a few things about the components. We got little rocket ships, just like in High Frontier. We've got population counters. There's 3 different kinds. These are individuals. These are 5s. And these are infected people. At the beginning of the game, you set the population out. Oops, I forgot them Africans. According to the numbers. The spaces on the board indicate various planets. Now let me give you the premise of the game. It's 1954. A few days ago, the United States detonated a hydrogen bomb at the Bikini Atoll. And inadvertently disabling an alien artifact, generating a force field protecting the entire planet. Now alien spaceships are landing all over the world. Amazon warriors lure men into their vessels to serve as slaves on Venus. Super intelligent Martians herd humans into their ships, where their brains are removed and returned to Mars to operate the cybernetic machines which keep their civilization alive. Ravenous tentacled creatures from Ganymede lurk beneath the oceans, sending probes into coastal regions to capture unwary humans for food, and centipede-like titanian parasites attach themselves to humans, then reproduce to infect more people. Xenophobic robots based on Pluto incinerate entire cities as part of their mission to exterminate all organic life. The tanks and jets of Earth's military forces are of little use against energy shields and death rays, but a few experimental programs have developed primitive spaceships capable of teleporting Earth's population to a secret underground refuge. That's Earth's special place where they hide the people they steal, in which they can hide until Earth's scientists develop sufficient technology to defend them. Okay, the goal of the game. To get the absolute majority of population, I believe. No, I'm sorry. You need a plurality of the population. In this case, since I'm playing a 6-player game, that's 17. There's a total of 101 people on the board at the beginning of the game. Now, there are options. You can play a shorter or a very much longer game, depending. I'm going to just play the normal game, but I am, of course, going to play the expanded and all the optional rules, etc. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing. So, you also have some other pieces in the game other than the people in the spaceships. Each player has a deck of these zap cards, and at the beginning of the game they start with 3 of them. They give special powers, and they can also be discarded. Well, they give a special ability that can be used once. They could also be discarded for some other purposes. There's also a pile of tech cards, 3 of which are available for upgrade. You have adamantium armor, Gatling lasers, and wide area teleport. Okay? Whatever. Comes with a little card indicating the different number of attack dice that each planet gets, and its defensive ratings in different terrains, as well as whatever special abilities the powers have. Summary of play card. And I think there's just one of each of those for each player. Just as a little play aid. Looks useful. On top of that, each race has its own specific abilities. And they each start with, in the advanced game, 2 spaceships on each planet, on their home planet. In the case of the basic game, some of the further planets like Pluto or Titan start with more spaceships because their special powers are very potent and it's making up for their great distance. Okay, well, let's look at what we have. Each race or whatever, has a special ability. So for example, Titan's special ability is being parasitic. Each of its spaceships can, well, I probably don't want to explain these until I've explained the rules of the game. Okay, great. So your goal is to get people onto your home planet, or in the case of Earth, into the secret underground refuge. In the play of the game, each player is basically allowed to do one thing on their turn. And their options are to build a spaceship. And if they do this, they get a new spaceship at their home planet. If it's Earth, they get it, I believe, on any Earth space except the secret underground refuge, where they can't build any spaceships. Next option is a move action. This allows you to move all of your spaceships, and they're allowed to move one interconnected area unless you have some special ability that allows you to do more than that. If you're in orbit, that's considered one big area. You can move either to a space area or to any of the Earth areas other than the refuge. Nothing can go there. You can attack. If you choose an attack action and you're in the same space as enemy spaceships, you can attack enemy spaceships. The base here is to roll some dice. In the basic game it's 2, and try to defeat their defense value. In the basic game that's always 8. In the enhanced game, what we see is different races start off with different values of attack dice. So Earth only starts out with 1 attack die, whereas Pluto gets 3, but only 2 versus Titan. And depending on the type of terrain that the defender is in, that's the number you need to roll. 10s are high. Okay. And you can do that in each area that you have spaceships. And there's an enemy to shoot. You can also take a population action, which allows you to collect one population from the area it's in. This will be an Earth area in general. And move it to your home world. And those just become permanent score, basically, in general. The only exception to that is the secret underground refuge. One of the Earth special rules involves that being attacked. Okay. Another option you can make in the enhanced game only, which we're playing, is to do research. When you do this, you're allowed to first discard one of these and draw a new one. You don't have to. Then you choose one of the upgrades and roll a die, and if you roll at least the number on the upgrade card, and that's an indication of how difficult they are. So for example, the Gatling laser is fairly easy to get, whereas the other two are much harder. That's 7 and 8. Then you get that upgrade in place of one of your in addition to your technologies. Now, if that upgrade is better than one of your technologies, it causes you to discard your technology. It can be obsoleted by another technology. If that technology is already obsolete by one of yours, you can't try to get it. You can't try to take it from other people. But remember, you can discard these techs, right? Your zap cards, you can play at any time in the game, even outside your own turn, and they have an event on them. For example, this one, no player may perform a move action until the beginning of your next turn. Obviously, that would be best to play right after your turn, I would say. But you may find that you want to play it at some other point. Instead of actually playing the zap card, you can discard it during your turn and extend your action, whatever action you chose. And you can discard more than one zap card. Now, when you use a zap card, I believe you immediately get new ones. Now, I'm not sure when you get your zap cards. Is it at the end of your turn? It's at the beginning of your turn. You draw up to your 3-card hand. So, these are one-use cards. You use them, they're discarded, and they're out of the game basically, unless some kind of special ability says, hey, refresh one of your zap cards or something like that. And there might be something. I don't know. Alright. How do those extensions work? Well, it depends on what you did. If you did a build, you get to build an extra spaceship. If you do a move, one of your spaceships can move an extra area. If you did an attack, one of your spaceships can make another roll to attack. And that's for each card that you play. If you did a population gain, you can grab one extra population from somewhere where you were able to do it. Or you could infect or destroy the population if that's what you like to do. If you did a roll for research, you can spend a zap card to roll again on perhaps a different research. But you only can roll. You don't get to discard a research, etc. Technology and special cards don't affect your zap card particularly, although, of course, if they're your combat values or whatever they do. In some cases, cards, technology and special will conflict with one another. In that case, what do you do? Something about the higher tech having effect, I can't find it. This game specifically allows all diplomacy. However, you're not allowed to do anything with that. You can't change the rules with it. Like, you can't trade population or cards or anything like that. But you can agree, I'll attack you if you attack him or something like that. I don't know. I've heard deals like that. You can also table talk as much as you like. Again, specifically added to these rules. So for those who might think that that is a problem in any game, in this one it's explicitly allowed. And that's it. Once somebody has the plurality of 17, in this case, population stowed away, they win the game. It's over. If two people reach that number at the same time, due to maybe an event card or something, they both win. Alright, let's briefly look at the different abilities that are already out. So, we'll start with Titan. Their base ability, their spaceships can infect units in the same area. You replace a green with a yellow to mark it's infected. Then each infected population can infect one extra population. Each infected population on Earth can infect an extra population unit in the same area or neighboring area. Okay? And then each of your spaceships can collect one population unit normally. In addition, you can teleport an infected population unit from each area back to your home world, even if you don't have a spaceship in the area. Wow, that's potent. Other players can collect or destroy an infected population on Earth, and then it's essentially disinfected. So, they've got a movement tech of plasma rockets. When they move, they can go 2 areas. So, for example, a spaceship on Titan could move to Space Area 7. And a spaceship in Space Area 7 could move to Earth. Force Barrier, this is their defense. This is just their defense ratings on the chart. 8 in land, 9 in space, 10 in ocean. And their spaceships are immune to teleportation from Venus or to the Space Warp Zap card, okay? We don't know what that does, but it sounds useful. And then they have a plasma cannon that allows them to roll 2 dice per ship. Or 3 dice if the spaceship... Oh, hold on. Or 3 dice if the target spaceship's in the same area. Maybe you can attack adjacent areas. Ooh. It's not clear. Here we go. So here's the specific. If you're in a space area or a planet, you can attack only in the same area. If you're in orbit, you can attack any Earth area or orbit. And if you're in Earth, same area, neighboring Earth or orbit. Okay. So there's your limitations on attack. This is going to be a long video. Let's take a look at Pluto. Pluto's the furthest out, so they must be the most powerful, right? Their special ability, they're robots. when they do population, they can destroy population in the same area. Or if they're in orbit in any Earth area. But the destroyed population on your home world to keep score, okay? That's a little bit more potent because they can stay in orbit and shoot up the population rather than having to land and abduct them. When their spaceship are normally destroyed, it's only disabled. Put it on its side to indicate this, and until the end of your next turn it can't do anything. A disabled spaceship can be destroyed normally by an attacker, just a zap card. And their spaceships are immune to mind control, which is from Mars. And they also, everybody starts with a hand of 3 of these. And remember, they're one-shots. Their weapon is a disintegration ray. They get 3 dice, but only 2 if the spaceship is from Titan. Has a force barrier. Okay. Wormhole generator. They can move as normal, or they can use a wormhole. Roll a die and teleport to the space area of the number you rolled. So they could randomly jump out of Pluto, basically, and that's kind of cool. And you can choose that on a per spaceship area. And then they have ultronium shielding, which is, you know, again, good in oceans, but not as good across the board as the force barrier. Okay. Let's take a look at Venus. Venus's special ability is they are alluring. When they do population, they collect 2 from the area instead of 1. Remember, that doesn't count if they do their special, they're throwing a zap card away for extra population. Their weapon is a Q-ray. You roll a die to see what happens. Both sides can be destroyed. Each are teleported to random space. No effect whatsoever. Target spaceship teleports to a random space area. Target spaceship is destroyed on an 8 or higher. So they have more effect when they attack and don't seem to be affected by the defense. Atomic engines. When they perform a move, they move 1 area as normal. If the malfunction zap is played, that spaceship is destroyed. Okay. I don't know what that does. Spaceship's defense, 7, 8, 9. Same as the ultronium. Let's go to green. Also has 3 cards. This is Earth. Earth special rules. These can't be good. Whenever an alien spaceship is destroyed on Earth or in orbit, you get a free research action. Hey, cool. When an alien player performs an attack action, that player's spaceship's on Earth or in orbit, if it's the robotic player, can attack the secret underground refuge as if it were one of your spaceships in a land area. If the attack succeeds, that player gets a population from the refuge. We have chemical rockets. That doesn't sound good. On move actions, you can move to orbit or to any Earth area other than the secret underground refuge. If one of your spaceships is moved to a space area other than orbit, it is destroyed. I.e. if it's teleported into space or whatever. You probably want to obsolete that as soon as you can. Steel plating, particularly bad defenses, 6, 7, 8. And weapons, they only get 1 die. Earth sucks. But remember, they get quicker tech rolls when other people's spaceships are destroyed. Okay, let's look at Mars. Their special ability is mind control. When they do an attack, each of their spaceships may either attack using a weapon, or they can try to take over a target spaceship in the same area. The original player no longer controls it, you do, and you put it on its side to indicate this. Wow. Somebody else goes on their side too. I wonder what that means. On each of your turns, you can use the controlled spaceship as if it's one of your own. You can move, attack, collect population. However, the controlled spaceship uses its own movement, weapons, defense, not yours, and it cannot use the original owner's special card. Each of your spaceships can only control 1 other spaceship at a time, and they have to stay in the same area. Okay? Anti-grav, this is the movement. they can move one area as normal, but they're not affected by gravitron polarity reversal zap. Oh. Chameleon screen, very, very good defenses. 9, 10, 10. Well, it looks like they got Mr. Peanut on there. And then the Magneto Blasters, this is their weapon. They can attack either using 2 dice or 3 dice if this spaceship is Pluto. Or they can use the Magneto Force Beam to pull the target spaceship in. If the target's already in the same area as your attacking spaceship, you can instead push it out to any area your attacking spaceship is able to attack. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And now we go finally to the Nimity. And their special ability is they are amphibious. When they do a build, they can build 2 spaceships instead of 1. That doesn't sound particularly amphibious. When they do a population action, they can collect from the area it's in or from a neighboring area. Now this is why it's important that they're amphibious. They can be in the ocean and collect from the land. And remember, ocean is usually good for defense. This allows you to stay in the ocean where defense is better. Yeah. Biometallic hull, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty normal. But they have the advantage of being more defended. Long-range missiles, when they attack, they get 2 dice for each spaceship or 3 dice if they're attacking Venus. Spaceships can attack any area to which they can move. If on Earth, they can attack orbit or any area on Earth. If in space or a planet, they can attack a neighboring area. And finally, the inertial drive. When you move, each of your spaceship can move 1 area. Or, if it doesn't move, that allows another of your spaceships in the same area to move an extra area. Okay. Let's look at the initial set of technologies that I have out here. Adamantium armor. 8, 9, 10 defense. It duplicates impervite armor, which I don't think is there. It obsoletes yttrium alloys. Does anyone have that? I don't know. It's obsoleted by adaptive shield, phased shield array, and chameleon screen. Chameleon screen is held here by the Martians, so they can't go for this. And the force barrier by Titan, which is approximately the same. Gatling lasers. When you attack, you get 2 dice for each ship, and it's obsoleted by a number of different things, some of which are at the beginning of the game, like Magneto Blasters, Plasma Cannon, Long-Range Missiles, Disintegration Ray. This is basically a low-end weapon for the people like Earth who don't have a good weapon. And then Wide Area Teleport, you have to roll an 8 or higher to get it. That's the number down here. When you perform a population action, any of your spaceships can collect, infect, or destroy 1 additional population. Any one of your spaceships can get an extra unit. If you're Titan, you can teleport an additional infected population unit back to Titan from any area. And this is cumulative with pheromone lures. That sounds like Venus. Nope. Okay. Must be a tech or something. Oh, here it is. Nope. Alright. So, that's what the game's about. Pluto goes first, and then we actually do have to go in clockwise order because seating order is important in this game. That's going to be really, really tough on me because I'm so used to going counterclockwise all the time just to be weird. But in this, I can't. Alright, up this goes.